Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, NWA 76 part 3 this week. We're going to go right back again. It's the 3 of 5, we believe, shows that they've done for the 76th anniversary celebrations. And to join me, as always, on the NWA shows, yes, it's, is that Disney? I don't know. You tell me. It's Miss Fiona Lochran. Good evening.
Hello, darling. Are you all right?
I'm good.
Nice to
I'm
see
good.
you
We're hot.
again.
Yeah, to see you again. Yeah, it's only been 24 hours. And well, it's crazy. Yeah, it was only 24 hours ago that we're speaking to a former NWA talent actually in fodder. Go and check that out when it drops next week. But NWA 76 this week, part 3. Um, Only 2 matches on the show, but they were
Mhm.
relatively long matches. One of them was obviously the Burke, the women's gauntlet match to crown the #1 contender for Kenzie Paige, which we're assuming is going to be at Samhain. We don't know that for certain, but it's a rough guess that it's going to be at Samhain. And the #1 contender for the junior heavyweight championship, which will be Jack Cartwheel and Alex Misery, sorry, which will be facing Alex Taylor at Samhain. That was confirmed during the show.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It will be. Anyway, they started quite nice. It was Jazz and Simon Diamond, as I remember him from ECW, promoting the show, promoting obviously the Burke and everything like that, the Gauntlet and some of
This was
Jazz's.
nice. The reception both of them got was phenomenal. It
Yes.
was really nice to see, actually.
Yeah, it
And
was.
Pat's looking really well after his health issues that he's had lately. So it was good to see him in the ring, actually looking pretty healthy again.
Yeah, it was nice. It was lovely to see him back in the ring, as you say, and the fans giving them what they deserve, which was a really nice welcome to the show, and then nice actually for NWA to do that as well because they did play the importance of the matches coming up as well
Yeah.
during this segment. So they've done a good job there. I do feel, I must say, before we get to the gauntlet, I do feel for Carl during this gauntlet because I'll get into it later on. But it's quite that bit's quite funny. But yeah, so obviously they promoted the show, and then we got into the #1 contendership match for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Wow, this was
This was a
fantastic.
lot of fun.
This was brilliant.
Didn't disappoint. I really
No,
enjoyed it.
yeah, I thought it was. I absolutely love this match. Misery and Cartwheel. Best match I've seen of Alex Misery as well.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Very, very much so. You got to see a little bit more of how talented he is actually, because I think he's not had much chance to showcase himself, not properly. So when you put him in with someone like Jack, who's really athletic and stuff, it really showed off Alex off in a good light.
yeah. I think that's the best match I've ever seen Alex in since I've been watching NWA. I don't know. Obviously, with yourself, you've watched it longer than me, but that for me was brilliant for him.
But hasn't been around that long, really, in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things. So you've really not, it's not like you've missed 4 seasons of it or whatever. He's only fairly new in the last couple of seasons. So,
Ah, good. Well, we're going to see more of him. I mean, this match was tremendous. Jack Cartwheel, Cartwheel by name, Cartwheel by nature. A lot of that. Alex was doing his fair share as well. There were some incredible moves in this, lots of near falls as
a
well.
lot of roll-ups early on as
Yeah,
well.
lots of near falls during the early lot of this match, as you were saying. There was a really nice cartwheel arm drag kind of thing that they done during it. To be honest, both of these guys are really, really talented.
It was a really even match as well. I
Yeah.
felt like I wouldn't have said if I was looking at it on paper, I'd have been like, but seeing them both in the ring with each other, it was really equal.
Yeah, and the crowd loved it. The
Yeah,
crowd really got into it as well.
and rightly so.
Yeah, and these are guys, don't forget where it is the 2300 Arena. They're a big ECW crowd. They're ECW fans. But as ECW fans, you always, the one thing that ECW done very well, as much as the hardcore blood and guts stuff, was they got some wrestling. You had, I mean, we don't know what you think of the guy, but you had Benoit and Guerrero and people like that
Yeah,
were in ECW before we even saw them. And so the ECW fans do respect great wrestling just as
yeah.
much as they like the hardcore stuff, which we see a bit later on. There's no doubt about it. But what a move Cartwheel does to finish this match off. I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of flips and flops in my time. Leon Slater does a crazy one, but that was very. It's like he was doing like a off the diving board swimming jump.
Very technical name for it.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what they called it. That's
I
right.
have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend that I do.
But go out your, I mean, look, listen, it's on X at the minute, guys. So go out and go your way, check it. NWA pin it to their X account, so make sure you go out your way to pin it. But he hits this incredible twisty whatever thing off the top rope. So now he will go against Alex Taylor at Samhain, and I'm just thinking, like, in a way, Alex Misery and Alex Taylor are similar in size, stature. Alex Taylor's probably a bit bigger. But in terms of the actual match, it should go along the same way as what we just witnessed between him and Jack Cartwheel.
I'm expecting Jack and Alex Taylor to have another belter, and I think I'm with you on that. I reckon it'll be quite similar. Alex Taylor is really quite athletic, and I know sometimes you don't really get to see that,
Mm.
depending on who he's in the ring with and whether he, but well, who his opponents are. But I've seen Alex do some pretty cool stuff as well. So I don't know size wise what the comparison is. I don't know if there's a height difference. I know Alex isn't the tallest person in the world. And it's hard to tell when you're watching them on TV and stuff, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I do. I think it'll be a great match at Samhain. I can't wait to see it when it comes on. It shouldn't be too far away from the taping it next weekend,
Next weekend,
I want
yeah.
to say. So we should be okay. We shouldn't be too far behind Samhain. I think we'll be quite close to it.
Yeah.
But they'll be taping it next weekend, which should be a bundle of fun. Samhain last year was controversial, but it was a lot of fun last year as well. And this year should be going down the same route. Although I'll hold preference on that a bit later on because I do have a little bit of displeasure regarding this year's, and I'll go into that a little bit later on in the show. They do plug Samhain, obviously, NWA Live, NWALiveEvents.com to get your
Yeah.
tickets to
And it's
Samhain.
moved, it's worth kind of bearing in mind that it has moved location to the WEDU studios, the PBS studios in Tampa. Obviously, it was supposed to be in Sarasota.
Mm.
Of the hurricane last week's obviously caused some damage, and as far as I know, Robarts has been used as part of the relief, kind of the relief works to help clear the area and get things back to normal. So understandably, they're moving it.
Yeah.
My concern with that is though I've been in the PBS studios,
Mhm.
they're small.
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to translate like for the amount of fans that potentially, but I don't know how many tickets had been purchased for Salon at Sarasota. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe they'll move it into a bigger studio. I don't know.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, you're right. Because I think again, last year's one was so good. Where was it last year? It was in that theatre, wasn't it? Last year.
Hmm.
That was brilliant. That was the half the thing that made Samhain last year was the place that they were in. It
The
was
amphitheater was a great
yeah,
venue for it.
it was brilliant. So this year maybe a bit disappointing that obviously we understand and absolutely Robarts needs to be used for everything that happened over there without a shadow of a doubt. So you can definitely understand that. You can understand the fact that NWA can't really move Samhain because it is a Halloween show. So you can't really move it and tape it at Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. It has to be taped when it needs to be taped. So logical, I think, would be moving it. It's just a shame that we don't. The Robarts Arena was another iconic
Yeah.
place to be. So it's a shame they're not going to go there, but at the same time, absolutely needs to be done for the relief of everyone there. And we hope anyone that's watching from America is all okay. I don't know if they're still without power over there, but it didn't look. I mean, I think it didn't come off half as bad as what they were expecting, which is good, but it obviously still caused damage and people are
Yeah.
still obviously
I
without
had
power.
friends over in Florida without power for 4 or 5 days, so
Jeez. Are they okay? Everything all
they're fine now. They're back. They're back up and running now, which is
brilliant.
good.
And listen, any wrestlers out there as well in Florida, we hope you're all safe and well as you can be after that. So it was a very scary time to see last week. Kenzie was next. She was talking. Obviously, there was a quick interview with May, and they were talking about
How Kenzie's a goddess.
what well that is. I don't think there's any question about that. I won't give
I
any
mean, who's
answer.
going to argue? Let's be honest. Who is going to argue that?
I certainly ain't with that. But also how the Burke Invitational was coming up, and she was predicting that if she wants it, well, she was going to say anyone's going to win, it's going to be her baby sister, Kylie, was going to win the match and go on to face her. But she did say that Kylie wasn't as smart as Kenzie. That's what she did. So she left it. I was like, oh, that's kind of, and then again, planting the seeds of potentially, a little bit of dissension if,
That's it. And sisters are going to fight, let's be
course,
honest.
of course, our sisters always fight. That is the way it is, and it would have been. Well, it will be interesting to see if Kylie wins. It will get to that very, very shortly. Then there was a match. Oh, not match. Then there was another segment with Rolando's got a lady.
Allegedly.
And the lady's called Karma. Now, the Karma that I knew was Awesome Kong. And in WWE, she was Karma, right?
She was
And I'm
indeed.
thinking, wow, is he, is that who he's? But what he was talking about wasn't really that he has a lady. It was he wants to get Karma on Eric Smalls, and most predominantly his balls. Um, well,
No comment.
yeah, no comment on that either. But he basically called out Smalls, and that's where they're going with it. When's it going
I'm
to happen?
guessing that might be another Samhain match. Who knows?
Could be. It could be. See, Samhain last year was all gimmick matches, which
It
made the
was indeed, and they
pay-per-view,
were great. I loved it.
yeah, which made the pay-per-view quite unique. We will run down the current Samhain card up as we get to the end of this, and then I can then go on a little bit of a rant. So we'll wait on that. But then it's coming straight away to the last match of the evening because it was, this Powerr was about 47 minutes. A great time to be, less than an hour. But because of the length of time, the first match wasn't exactly short, which is
No,
great. It got given the
I know. I'd
time.
have been gutted if that had been a 6:05 limit.
Oh, yeah, it couldn't have been. You had to give it the
There's no
15.
way
No.
that would have been outrageous if they put the time limit on that match.
Yeah, because it would have got into, or it would have either been really rushed and not looked as good, or it would have
Yeah,
got to the point where it was getting interesting and it would have either been a draw or someone had to do a quick roll up to get the victory.
yeah,
Which wouldn't have been well. So I'm so happy that they gave this sort of 15 minutes or so. It really deserved it. And it fitted that time limit perfectly, and the
yeah.
match was so well done. This match was going to go a long time because this is a gauntlet. Now, the rules of the gauntlet, I did write this down, so I'm very happy. There was two women that start, the two women that start a bit like a Royal Rumble every 60 seconds. Another contender arrives. An elimination occurs by pinfall, submission, or over the top rope, and there must be a winner. That was the rules of the gauntlet. Ruthie J comes out first, and then that was joined by Kylie Paige was second.
It
So
was indeed.
a little bit
Yeah.
of an old,
Both in green as well.
yes, very much so, and a little bit of a throwback. I'm pretty sure they competed for the tag team titles at one point. I'm pretty sure they did.
I'm sure they did
Maybe
too.
with and because they did mention that Rekka had an injury that
Hmm.
she was going to be in this match, but she couldn't. Obviously, she wasn't cleared. She's still injured, so hopefully she's getting better soon, and we'll see her back. Because I really like Rekka as well. I thought she was a. She reminds me a bit of I don't know if you've seen her on WWE, Raquel Rodriguez.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Very much along those lines. So if for those of you WWE fans out there, think of Raquel Rodriguez, that is Rekka Tahira, but more of a. I would say more of like I would sort of put her more into the bloodline in terms of the way that she looks like a Samoan,
Absolutely.
yeah, part of it. But anyway, then they were joined after that by NWA Chicago's Lily. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Escadita.
Thank you, thank you. I've got no chance with that. And then Big Mama come out as well, so she was the fourth one, and it started getting a bit
And
messy.
bless her, Ruthie was trying on Big Mama. She really, really was, but
She
she didn't
was.
last long because Big Mama made Ruthie the first elimination in that match.
She did, poor Ruthie. I feel for her, but big. She, as you said, she tried everything she could. But when you see the name Big Mama, it does exactly what you think. And again,
Indeed.
Ruthie J. Although Ruthie J is a five-star athlete, there is a thing. But actually, one of my favorites come out next was Hollywood Haley J. Now, the only thing that I will say about Hollywood Haley J, she impressed me a lot during this, and I'm going to talk about the latter part of the match quickly on this. Why was she breaking up the pinfalls in this match?
That's a really good point. I didn't actually think about that at the time, but now you've mentioned it, I'm
Because
not sure.
the commentators were mentioning it, and Danny Dills was like, "Well, she wants to eliminate them all herself." I was like,
Maybe,
I was just like, come
maybe.
like, and
Or maybe it was just a lapse of concentration and who knows?
one lapse of concentration, you can get a
Yeah.
win. Three or four lapses of concentration, she's got a problem.
But yeah, fair point, fair point. But Hollywood Haley J comes in. Big Mama then goes around every single one by one,
Yeah.
and just tries to take their heads off,
Hmm.
which results in everyone
Dumping her out
joining
as
forces and teaming up on her.
so again to look at this, remember how they eliminated the great Carly before, or Mark Henry or Big Show, when you get five or six people around to eliminate Big Mama. That's what they did. And as she was doing that, La Rosa Negra then come in at that point. So I was trying to be a bit of a twang.
With the smallest trunks, stroke bottoms that a woman ever wears in the wrestling ring that I've ever seen, I think.
I didn't actually pay attention. Might have to go back and look at that. I didn't actually see that, to be fair. I was too busy, probably too busy writing at this point because as Rilla Rosenegger was coming out, Big Mama's getting dumped over the top rope.
Yeah,
I'm scribbling down on the paper what's going on. Yes, you're right, though. La Rosenegger does come out next, and then joined in by Natalia Markova. And that's at the first point where Hollywood Haley J breaks up a pin at that point.
yeah.
I'm just like, what is going on? Uh,
That was some back and forth though between Markova and Lily Pescadita with the
yes,
chops.
that was. They did do
That
a
was
bit. Mm.
brutal.
Well, the thing I will say about Markova is that she does lay it in, and she comes across quite a little in stature, but she can. I mean, she laid in the
Oh,
kicks
that
on the
girl can
Baron.
fight.
Yeah, yeah. I will say that about her, and I think she laid in a kick on the Baron or Tim at that point before he was the Baron. Was he? Can't remember.
Yeah,
Yes, that was the match, wasn't it? That turned him into
it
the Baron.
was.
Yes,
They had the tag match.
yes, and she laid the kicks in pretty thick on him and
Yeah.
Jax.
She's
Uh,
not fair.
no fear at all. So they did have a big chopping contest. Tiffany Nieves then come into play, and at that point, Lily gets eliminated over the top rope.
That's
Um,
Markova's
bump
at Markova's hands.
Mark over his hands, indeed. Misty Marks from Dog Pound, part of Jazz's territory uh, promotion.
That's down in Texas. That's, I think, it's San Antonio way in Texas.
Yes, she comes out next and followed soon by Kyla Rossi. Wow, she's a specimen.
She is.
Oh, she is.
She's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, she's kind of a mixture of like Rhea Ripley in terms of look. I'm trying to think of somebody else, but she's just got.
She's very distinct. She's very unique.
she doesn't skip leg day.
She does not skip leg day.
Jesus, she's got a pair of chicken thighs on that legs. Jesus, she is. I mean, she's very. I mean, she was quite impressive actually through this. I'd like to see NWA utilize Kayla Rossi a bit more because
Yeah.
she, a bit like Rekka. What we were saying with Rekka in terms of the stature, the look. Kayla Rossi's got that. There was a couple of moves that she done that I think didn't quite land. One of them was on Kylie. I think it was like I don't know if it was an arm drag or something. There was a move where they flipped over and Kylie looked as if she landed a little bit short.
Awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, on there. But she was very, very impressive, Kylie Rossi. I'd like to see her again. And at this point, Hollywood Haley J and Tiffany Nieves are all over the show at this
Oh,
point.
they weren't just took it out everywhere. So Haley J spent quite a bit of time outside the ring actually during this match.
Yes, with Tiffany Nieves brawling away whilst Adriana Mosley come in. I would say of Adriana Mosley, that was the one that I wasn't that impressed with. I have to, listen, I'm not a bloody, it doesn't really matter what I think about a wrestler, whether she just didn't hit for me. Maybe it's time. I'm not sure. There was a
First
little bit
time
of,
I've seen her, so
mm,
I'm kind of reserving judgment on that because I don't
yeah,
really know her at all, to be honest.
exactly. I just think out of the whole lot of them in there, maybe it's because I didn't see enough of her before she got eliminated. I didn't really see it there because normally when you come in, you get that sort of 30 seconds, don't you? Where you're like bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang. They didn't get that. A lot of them didn't get that opportunity because by the time they got in the ring and hit a couple of punches,
The next person was coming out. I almost feel like 1 minute's too short.
yeah, exactly. They should have maybe done 90 seconds or 2 minutes or, and this is where I was laughing at Carl Davis because normally at a Royal Rumble, you get a countdown clock.
Yeah.
Well, NWA's countdown clock was Carl Davis and he's like 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 1. And he was saying it like 13 times. Even he at one point, someone's getting eliminated, someone's coming out and he's having to do the and he's
Yeah,
like,
bless him. Fair play to him for trying.
at one point. But yeah, and then is it Madia come out?
Kelly Madden.
Madden, sorry, I've got my writing is shocking. Uh,
And she comes out and like that, she's eliminated three people.
yeah, and Misty,
Misty, Kayla, and then
Haley,
Missy and Kayla out. And
yeah.
then who eliminated Kelly? Because she didn't stay in that long because she was
Was it
out
Garrett?
before the next person came in.
Oh, so because Santara Garrett come in next.
Yeah, so Kelly, I don't know who eliminated Kelly. I'm not sure. I just know that Misty, Kayla, Rossi, and Kelly were all out before entrant number 13 arrived.
Yeah, Haley come out, then there's Haley J got eliminated, then Santana Garrett come out.
No,
No, sorry.
Santana was out first.
Santana was out first, then Haley J was the next person
Yeah.
eliminated. Sorry. Then Mosley got eliminated over the top by Garrett. More breaking up of pins at this point. But it's just, then
It was
Loretta.
nice to see Santana in the
Oh, she was.
ring.
You look like she'd missed a step.
No, not at all. I don't know
She was
when the last
brilliant.
time, I don't know if she is still active. I've got no idea. Obviously, she's a former NWA Women's Champion.
Yes.
So it was really quite cool to see her in the ring there.
Oh, it was great. It was marvelous. And as I said,
She
she
looks
has missed a step.
amazing.
She looked great. I mean, again,
Superhero
sometimes.
cape and all.
Yeah, it's like sometimes, like with it, not saying that because obviously when you don't wrestle and you don't train as much, you lose that sort of, you lose your size or you lose your, you lose that sort of physique. Not her. She's
No,
kept herself
never
very
missed a beat.
brilliant. She was absolutely fantastic. Um, was awesome. Loved that. And then so Garrett got eliminated by Kylie at this point, and then Jesus, this is when it starts getting a little bit extreme because while that's happening.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting what follows. I was not expecting. I'm like, is this allowed?
Yeah, chairs were coming in, and Jesus, she levers Kylie with a chair shot. I mean,
Like an absolute belter.
and it's on the head. It's over the head. It's one of those ones nowadays that
Like
people don't
Tiffany
get.
was meaning business.
Yeah, she went crazy. I thought she busted her open at one point. Oh, and I've got to point out though, Jared Fritz, new hair.
Oh, he got that cut for charity a while ago, I think.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
awesome stuff. I thought she was busted open because I thought I saw Jared with the gloves on
Yeah.
his hands, and I was like, oh shit, she busted because it went off. I mean, it
It
weren't
was an
like
absolute cracker.
oh Jesus, yeah, she got hit on the head with that.
But then that was the big upset for me for the night.
Yes,
Kylie
Kylie
was
Paige
out.
was out for the count. Actually, sorry, the chair shot was on Markova. Sorry, the chair shot was on Markova, not Kylie. I do again. I'm reading off notes. So on Markova, she kicks out, and then the kendo sticks come into play.
Hmm.
So then they got the kendo sticks out, ladies and gentlemen. That was going crazy.
And at this point, it is just Tiffany and Markova left.
Just Tiffany Neves and Markova left. Suplex onto the concrete, hurt them both. There's no padding around the ring here.
Mm.
None at all. Then, of course, tell you what, it was a big spear for the 2 count.
Huge spear by Tiffany. Like,
Huge spear. And then
huge.
she channeled her inner Dudley.
She did. Get the tables.
Now, I did. She was struggling to get this
She did
table.
struggle to get the table, to be fair.
She struggled to get the table in. Then she struggled to set it up. And then she struggled to move it into the position that she needed to move into. I mean, Jared had to help her at one point get the table right for a move that she was going to hit. But therefore, because of all that time, Markova's had a bit of time to recover on the top
Yeah.
rope, hits a huge Uranagi through the table, and picks up the victory to win and become #1 contender. Right, so here we go. Because I have to say, and I've got nothing against Markova. She's a great, great worker. You told me to do some homework today.
I did ask you to do some
You
homework.
said to me, how many times has Markova had an opportunity to win an NWA championship?
That particular championship. So
Okay,
the
well, that
crown.
particular championship then goes from 2023 to
So
now.
a year. Okay.
So we're in a calendar year. She has had, well, I'll tell you what, since 2021, we'll go back a bit further, right? Because 2021, she initially lost the tag team titles. She had a tag team title. She lost that. She then lost to Camille twice at the Crockett Cup and at 75. So there's two.
On the Burke. So there's two.
There's
Okay.
two. Then she had another shot at the tag team titles and lost that.
I'm not counting the
You know,
tags.
don't worry about counting that. Then she had at hard times. She lost to Kenzie Paige this year,
Hmm.
and then more recently she lost a four-way match at a house show for the NWA Women's World Championship to Kenzie Paige.
Okay.
So she's had 4 attempts at the NWA Women's World Championship, Women's World Championship. She's had 6 in total, 4 at the Women's World Championship, and I didn't count the one with Max because Max had relinquished the championship
Yeah.
before the match. So and it was a count out anyway, so it didn't really count. My thing on this, and again, I've got nothing against my coach. She's a great wrestler, great worker. The NWA women's division is one of the best women's divisions in wrestling. There is so much talent there, and also the talent that come into this as well.
Stacked. Absolutely
Stacked.
stacked.
My query is why is it the same person. Why couldn't we not got a Tiffany Nieves win it? Why couldn't Kylie had won it? To bring somebody different and to give someone else the title shot. And again, nothing against Markova. Great work. It's not like she can't work or she can't go.
No, well, that's the thing. I think she's superb.
But there is how many opportunities does one get going for this championship within a year? This is a year. I wouldn't mind if it was spread out over a longer period of time.
Mhm.
This is 1 year, and she's had 4 attempts at the
And
championship.
not managed to capitalize on any of them.
Why is it? I mean, my theory is she'll probably win it at Samhain, and that's where we're looking at. I think Samhain's going to be the place. She may win it at Samhain, which is fine. But I just think there's so much more talent in that division that realistically they could have gone on to Samhain with somebody else. Even Tiffany Nieves, I think she may have had a shot once.
Tiffany, is she the Exodus Pro champ or the
I think
she had?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think she is definitely there with Exodus Pro. But yeah, nevertheless, that she wins it and she's got the opportunity. I'm sure that's going to be at Samhain. But I just think that there's so much talent on there that someone else could have had a shot. That's my view. I think if Rekka Tahara may have been fit, or like as in cleared and not injured, I reckon she may have won it. And
I
she,
can see Rika with that belt down the line if she stays
yeah.
in NWA. Absolutely.
And if I was NWA, I'd open up that checkbook. I mean, Jack Cartwheel, I don't think has signed fully. He's not got an
Mhm.
exclusive.
Well, that I know of anyway.
No, I'd get him signed straight away. Kayla Rossi and Hollywood Haley J as well. Bring them in.
But then Haley's with OVW and she's been with OVW for a long
It has
time.
been. Yeah, she
So
has been. Yeah. Okay, well maybe just Kayla Rossi and bring her in because they were impressive, and and that's kind of why it's a little bit disappointing for me because
yeah, I've literally written Markova wins and then beside it, oh piss off.
yeah,
And that's the thing. I don't dislike Markova. Like, I don't. I think she's super talented, to be honest with you.
yeah,
She's a little pocket rocket. She's hard as nails. Like
yeah,
you've seen street fights with her. She is one hard little lady, and she doesn't shy away from a fight. And she's quite happy to go in the ring with guys as well as girls.
yeah,
Um, but I'm just like, damn it, again. Like, you've had multiple shots. Just take some time away, not from wrestling, but just have another focus for a little while and then come back or whatever.
yeah.
I was, and I'm sorry, Natalia, but I was just disappointed that it was you. I think in my heart, I wanted it to be Kylie.
I think that made more sense, really,
I
Kylie.
would love to see the Page sisters one-on-one for that championship belt.
Yeah, me too. I was really hoping that was where they were going with it.
Yeah,
We were talking about it a year or so ago that would be when there was three of them, and like how we wanted all three of them to come together and have their and have a triple threat match, but it didn't work out. So yeah, listen, congratulations, Markova. You got this shot, but
absolutely. And don't get me wrong, you know that the two of them are going to have a banging match.
it will be
Like
great.
100%. Their match is going to be outstanding. And on paper, from what we know is going ahead at Samhain, that's got match of the night contender for me.
It is. Absolutely is. Yeah, it will be. And let's just quickly run through what we know is happening at Samhain, and then I can have another rant. Apologies. It's going to be a lot of rants. So obviously Alex Taylor against Jack Cartwheel, which will be great. First time ever match on that. We're assuming it's going to be Markova and Kenzie. That isn't confirmed yet, but we're pretty certain that's where it's going to go. Blunt Force Trauma against Knox and Murdoch, and EC3 against Tom Latimer again. So there'll be a rematch. I'm pretty sure they done it last year. Was it last year at Samhain when Cardona come out? And they had their match at last year at
Was that
Samhain.
the one that Camille was?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Cardona come out during it.
Okay.
And here's my thing about this, and again, I know they're kind of going into what I would class as you may as well have called this backlash, right? Because if you remember, every year where they have WrestleMania, then they have backlash. They ended up calling it WrestleMania Backlash because every match was just a rematch of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This is going along those lines of
We've seen it before.
we've seen it. Knox and Murdoch and Blunt Force Trauma. That was the Knights at the Round Table last year, so that was it. We had Latimer and EC3 last year at Samhain. When I get EC3 gets a rematch, I'm not
Yeah.
begrudging the rematch at all. They're absolutely Markova and Kenzie we've seen. Maybe not necessarily at Samhain, but it was a hard Hard Times this year. So Hard Times back in March,
Which
March time.
wasn't, what, 6, 7 months ago?
7 months ago. It's becoming more of a rematch. And all right, first time that I've seen Alex Taylor and Jack Cartwheel, that'd be great. I'm just looking at that, and obviously Max the Impaler will be involved somewhere along, maybe defending the men's TV title.
Yeah.
But now we need to talk about that actually, just side of this. NWA released a video on X that after Max had lost a match against Kenzie Paige last week, Max was literally holding James Mitchell up by his throat.
Max went backstage and kicked off,
Mm, big
like proper kicked off. They were not
no, Max
a
wasn't a
happy human
happy
being at all.
monster, shall we say?
But to get in James Mitchell's face,
Yeah.
well played. Well, although let's be honest, Max isn't afraid of anyone, are they? So
No, Max isn't afraid of anybody, but to do that to Jim Mitchell, so we don't know what the situation is with Max. We're assuming that Max will be defending the championship at Samhain. I would have thought so. It makes sense. Mims will probably be defending the
yeah.
national heavyweight championship there as well. But all is not well with the Miserably Faithful at the minute, according to that. And obviously, we'll wait and see with Samhain. But all in all, look, both matches on the show, they're great. They got given. I think sometimes of NWA when they do like 3 or 4 matches, they tend to be very, not to say rushed as such, because they're not necessarily filmed in order either. So it's,
Yeah, but
you know,
realistically, on a 47-minute program,
mm,
how much action can you get when you've got ads for the territories to cover, you've got backstage segments to cover,
yeah,
you've got future live events to cover.
yeah,
So in a 47-minute block, 4 matches doesn't work for me.
no. This was perfect. 2 matches, three, you can get away with three,
Yeah.
but considering the length of time these 2 matches got, and they needed these 2 lengths, and they needed the time. It was a great show. It was flowed really smoothly in general. Like I said, the winner of the Burke is the winner of the Burke, the Invitational that is, and
And I know there's lots of people happy about it, and that's great. And like I said, it's going to be an incredible match if
yeah,
that's what the match is at Samhain.
yeah.
Just not. I was disappointed in the outcome of that one.
The other thing I get today is you mentioned the territories. Yeah, there's these territory people as well. Like, we haven't even seen yet. You could have done a big surprise and had someone from the territories rock up and win. The,
Yeah, that would have been fun,
you know,
actually.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. I can't recall who's, wrestling for the territories. I know that they all do. I know all the stars do, but you do get ones that come up as well. And we saw some of the men during, uh, back to the territories, and perhaps we would have, if we'd seen some of the women, one of them could have come up and won it and had a shot. But look, it is what it is. Narkova wins, and we go to next week, and nothing's been announced again, which is nice. I don't like that a little bit because we don't
I
know.
quite like that. Yeah, the kind of night before or whatever, you see a poster and you're like, "Ooh."
Yeah, exactly. We still haven't seen the Baron yet. That's coming up
We know Baron's got a match.
with Jax and against Magic Jake, and I can't
I can't remember.
remember. Oh, Zion.
Zion, so it is. Yeah, that's right.
And I'm really happy now you've told me who he is because I never knew, but now I do. Very interesting. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know.
Zion is Zion
Zion. He's Austin Idol's son,
or something.
or something along those lines. But anyway, why don't you say what you had a busy weekend last week?
I had a crazy weekend last weekend. I had 3 shows. What did I have? I had Pro Wrestling Scotland. I had Main Event Entertainment, and I had W3L, which was cool. August Artois was over. Has been on a tour of the UK for the last 3 weeks, so it was nice to catch up with him. Come all the way over from Florida. He missed the hurricane, so he was good, which is nice. This weekend, I have just the one show with Main Event Entertainment in Killearn at the Village Hall in Killearn, which will be fun. It's always a really, really fun venue. Killearn's a really small village, so most of the village come out for it, so it's always a good night. But that's all I've got this weekend. And then next weekend, Premier British Wrestling are next Friday on the 25th. We are in Greenock for our annual Maximum Impact show, which is always an absolute banger. And we have Rampage Brown up for that. We've got Joey Hayes up for that as well. I think Joey Hayes. Joey's booked on one of the shows. Maybe that's the December one. But we've got Rampage Brown up for Maximum Impact next weekend. So that is going to be fun because it is always, always good to see him in action.
And you've got a certain WWE legend, WF legend
I
as
tell you, how
well.
did I forget? Yeah, so a week tonight I will be in London. So this is Wednesday right now. It might not go out till tomorrow, but a week tonight, I will be in London with Inside the Ropes for none other than Brutus the Barber Beefcake for an intimate show with Kenny and him. So that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Sorry if I was
We've
looking
got the
weird.
Glasgow. What's
Sorry,
that?
no, I was just about to say sorry for. I didn't mean to cut you off before you finished. Sorry for looking really weird. It just like had a storm start over here.
A what?
Storm has just started over here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what
Thunder
were
and
you
lightning,
looking
and I was like,
at?
"What was that?" Because when I left, I come in and it was like beautiful out. It was really
And
nice,
now it's not.
and
Welcome
now
to the
it's
UK.
tipping down and thunder and lightning. So apologies for a
It's quite all right.
and beef, but yes, Bruce the Bar Beefcake will be.
Brutus on Wednesday, and then on Monday the 28th, we are in Glasgow, at the Classic Grand, I believe. So if you're looking for tickets, there's some left. itrtickets.com. Come and see Brutus. Come and meet him. Get some photos. Get some autographs. Come and say hi to me. It'd be nice to see you.
Indeed, and the show. I keep telling them that these guys put on a great show at Inside the Ropes. They are tremendous, tremendous shows. Love the ones I've been to. This one's going to be no different. It's going to be, and he's going to have a lot of stories. There's no doubt about that.
I can only imagine. I think there'll be some belters.
And considering he was in the WWF the same time that my guests yesterday were in the WWF, Demolition. A big thanks to Axe and Smash or Barry and Bill, depending on who you whatever.
No, you can't call them that.
Axe and Smash. They told a great story about Kurt Hennig and some mice. I'll leave
Okay,
that
I
to
look
anyone.
forward to it.
You need to go and watch the show. Big thanks to them for yesterday. Big thanks to Fodder as well. Yesterday we got the
That was fun last night. It was good to
interview
see
with
him.
Fodder done as the rain crashes against the window here. Yeah, big thanks to Vince Russo that come on. I mean, that has gone crazy. I don't know, like he didn't really say anything on the show that of any sort of controversy, but it's gone mad on socials with that. So big thanks to that. Eric Bischoff is coming up. We should be sitting down recording with Eric, all being well, on Tuesday. Maybe me, you may be busy. We'll have to see on that. But Eric Bischoff coming on this weekend. HTTB are on the road. Yes, we are. We are hitting the road. We're going to the mother of Will Ospreay, Sue Ospreay's promotion, RCWA, over in Raynham on Saturday. Then we're getting a very early train on Sunday morning and heading to Wales for
Oh,
Cardiff for Slam Masters Wrestling, back to the banking hall. We went there this time last year. We enjoyed it a lot. We met Ace Austin last year from Bullet Club ABC. This year we're going to be meeting Rhino and Eric Young,
oh, nice.
as well as some of our sponsors, our sponsees. LA Taylor will be wrestling on the show, as well as James Ellis, who's just fresh off of his Revolution Pro Wrestling debut last weekend. So we're going to have a really fun show over there. We'll be there, and then obviously November the 24th. I'm hoping that's right. Ignite Wrestling tickets have shot off on that as well. We're got, obviously our title was being defended in a unique way in a tag team match this time. So Mark would keep stacking the odds, and he keeps finding a way at the minute to break through. But this time, him and his close personal friend Kieran Lacey will be challenging close personal friends Danny Black and Joe Lando. And if Kieran or Mark get pinned, the person who gets the pin from CPF will become the turnbuckle champion. However, Mark has stated that he will not allow Kieran to win the title if he gets the pin. So if Kieran or Mark gets the pin, Mark retains the championship.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Well, that's the rules. So unfortunately, Kieran, not my up on to me, man. You have to speak to your bro Chacho.
Mark better be careful there, I think.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, lightning. Sorry, being really distracted. That was a close one. Yeah, so I wouldn't be, but Kieran, that's not on me. By the way, that is definitely on Mark on there. But there's that. We're going to be talking to Layla, not Kayla Rossi. Layla, former women's champion Layla, is kind of on the show as well. So keep it locked on that. HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on Instagram. But Fiona, as always, well, hopefully we can do this not next week because you're going to have it. Well, not Wednesday anyway. You're going to have a meeting Bruce
I'm
about
going to
Mark.
be busy, but we'll sort something out. But before you scoot, just want to say, on behalf of everyone here at HTD Buckle, yeah, I nearly couldn't
HTT,
get
yeah.
that out. 5,000 subscribers.
6.
on YouTube. 6,000 now.
Hang on, let me count. Let me get
Ah,
let me get
we
the
hit the
count.
5,000 milestone just recently. So thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in and watching the videos and giving us lots of love. It's really exciting. And I know on a personal level, I'm only a little part of the team. Obviously, Adam here does so much more than I do. But that's pretty friggin' cool. So thank you.
6,158
There
YouTube.
we go.
So we've got over 10,000 subscribers across our platforms now. So big thank you to obviously you, Fee, to Rachel, to Dave. Andy come back yesterday for a show we've done with Demolition. Everyone that Gary Joe over in the States, Jesse and Andrew from Ringside Renaissance as well, the people that we do a lot of work with, and some of the streamers as well. I think they've had a big help in this. Some of the the wrestling streamers that have got thousands and millions of likes. And we've done a lot of collaboration with them recently, and I think that as well as the hard work that we obviously the hard work that we all put in on this show is big to it as well, and the guests that we've had come on, and I suppose that reputation, the guests do talk, they do talk, and ultimately that brings it. So we'll be bringing you more great shows, and yeah, big thanks to everyone that's been associated, even if you're not associated now with the show, because obviously without Andy and Parker
And
going,
if you're watching and you've not subscribed, why not sort it out?
just to click a button, you don't have to like get notifications, just click the subscribe button. Just hit the button. NWA wrestlers, you better be subscribed. I want to go through the list because we do this for you guys as well to get you. Oh no, we're not putting you over, but hey, look, we do this. We love NWA, and we want. And now you want at least now when you're on YouTube for at least another couple more weeks, people can watch, and you can get a bit more presence out there. Not that some of you guys don't need it, but obviously AJ Gazander's coming over in a couple of weeks, and it's just good that people can actually watch some of your matches, and
Yeah,
especially if you're coming
absolutely.
over and you want bookings, it's great that they can go to Jesus. It's great that they can go over to the YouTube channel and watch NWA 76 at least. Oh, sorry, X NWA 76. But Fee, let's do this again next week. It may be a different day, but let's do this again next week. Thank
Sounds
you as
like a
ever
plan.
for coming on and doing this. It's always lovely to chat NWA with you a day of the week, but. This was actually going to meant to be quite. I was thinking it was going to be quite a short show. It turned out to be quite a long show, considering 2 matches on the
Yeah,
card.
it's not
But
bad.
it's done really, really well. We'll be back next week with this. Obviously, if you're a fan of wrestling, there'll be more interviews dropping this week. There'll be more review shows dropping this week. And then next week it'll be the same. So just keep it locked on all the channels. But until then, everybody, if you're watching just for the NWA, we'll be back next week for some part 4 of NWA 76. Until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe. Ciao for now.